Make him a pariah in his own neighborhood, tried to make him something that he's not. A lot of the liberal voices said they weren't going to come here today because our speakers were too radical, including this man. They said that false press statement saying we canceled our event today. That hasn't stopped us at all. The pressure this man's been under year after year for the last 3 or 4 years to defend himself hasn't stopped him at all neither. I'd like to introduce to you Ward Churchill.
Seal, well, see June. I love my relatives. It's good to see you here. It is good to see you here. It's an honor to be here with people who do not feel they need permission from the state to exercise their rights. It's an honor to be here particularly with people who do not feel compelled to relinquish their right to self-defense in the face of state violence, real or threatened. A fundamental principle of resistance begins right there. But we're here to resist. We're here to resist an occupation. We're here to resist the war that arises from that occupation. And I've got to tell a story that goes back a while. 18 years ago, in 1990, when the father of the current president came on television and said, invoking some sort of a doctrine of just war, as he called it, that it is an obligation, not just a right, but an obligation to repeal the seizure of someone else's territory, the appropriation of their resources, the usurpation of their legitimate governments. And of course, George H.W. Bush was speaking the truth. And I jumped up and I began to dance. I was deliriously happy because I knew right then when he said he was going to use all new military force to accomplish those objectives that he was calling airstrikes in the White House right as he spoke. But of course he didn't really mean it. And the question would be, do we? What occupation do we oppose? What war do we oppose? All war? Any war? This war? That war? How about the war that's right here in occupied Denver? How about the war that has been waged for the past century and more against the Lakotas who live on Pine Ridge? How about the occupation of North America? Lock, stock, and barrel, not 1 inch of this monstrosity waging war against humanity and the planet itself right now would exist without the illegal, forcible military point-of-a-gun occupation of native North America. Absent the resources that are extracted from native North America, there would be no U.S. domestic economy. It wouldn't matter what the corporate tax rate was because there would be no corporate structure to tax. Illegal occupation is a condition of war, and the illegal occupation of native North America, which is the foundation upon which the United States has been constructed, continues. There is an ongoing war against the indigenous population of North America at this moment. There has been for every moment of the Iraq War. There has been for every moment of the war in Afghanistan. There has been for every moment of the special operations going on in Iran, in northern Pakistan, probably in Syria, and a number of other places you could name.
American imperialist country.
That occupation, that state of war was ongoing when we opposed, me right along with you, the United States covert war against Nicaragua. That war was going on with the invasion of Panama. That war was going on with the invasion of Grenada. That war was going on in Southeast Asia. That war was going on when the United States was being a police force, as it called it, in Korea. That war was going on when the bombs were dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. That war was going on in the Great Fire Raids in Tokyo. That war was going on when the Philippines were liberated at the expense of the entire population of the most populous province in the island chain. That war was going on, obviously, at Wounded Knee. That war was going on and on and on and on, back to the point where the Dutch were playing kickball with the heads of the Wappinger Indians at the site of where the World Trade Center used to stand. You need, if you're going to end the occupation that is occurring in Iraq today, and the occupation that is occurring in Afghanistan today, and the occupations that are intended in other areas of Central Asia, and the occupations that are occurring elsewhere in the world, the United States has its military forces spread around the planet, you know, and each of those conditions is one of occupation. If you want to oppose those symptoms, you have to confront the cause, and the cause is right here. The cause is in Denver in the occupation. The cause is in the occupation in North America. The cause is in the occupation of the inner cities. The cause is in the occupation of the migrant streams. The cause is all around you and everywhere, and it's not half a world away. Marching will not stop it. Petitions will not stop it. Electing a Republican as opposed to a Republican will not stop it. Prayer vigils will not stop it. Changing clothing fashions will not stop it. Adopting a better diet will not stop it. More and more bike paths will not stop it. What will stop it? Well, it starts right here. It starts right now. It starts with people who will not equivocate or negotiate or relinquish their rights. That's the point of departure. That's where we find ourselves. That's why it's an honor to be here. That's why it's been an honor to share the microphone with the speakers before me and the speaker who will come next and everyone else who participates. This is 68. This is what was intended in 68. 68 is recreated right here and now. Violent, isn't it? You want to know about violence? Send the Rocky Mountain and Fox News down to talk to Whitman and the rest of the Denver police force, because all of the violence in 68 came from the Chicago Police Department and that's we don't bend, we don't break, we move forward. We move forward as the power of the state dictates we must, but we move forward and we don't flinch, we don't back up. We keep moving until victory, however you define it, is achieved. All power to the people. Thank you.